yourselves?
Wicked, wicked.
Yeah, it's just saying, man. Just want to say thanks to everyone for attending the stream, man. As I say, as you boys know, man, I love talking about football, as I know that as I know some of you guys do as well. And as I say, I want to try and make this like a regular thing every Thursday if you boys can commit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I can do it, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yeah, I say thanks. Yes, Dave. You right, Dave? Got a full house.
No, I preferred it 4 people, man. The screen light was nicer.
Oh, sorry, I'm late, boys, man.
Don't be silly, man.
I'm trying to get up on the computer.
No, it's cool,
Fairy
man.
tale, man.
Dave, as I was saying, man, just want to say thanks to all you boys for attending the stream and that. And as I said, man, I want to try and make this regular every Thursday if you boys can commit to it. As I say, it's all about opinions. Not everyone's going to agree on everyone's opinion, but that's what it's about. So
that's the beauty of it.
There you go.
Exactly.
I got Stuart said from next week he's going to be there from next week. I think he's working late today, so he told me from Monday he should be regular all the time. So,
wicked.
Yeah. But as I said, so let's get started. So just from the questions that I put out to you guys. So we've got England's future midfield. So the players obviously I put on there. I didn't include Bukayo Saka because Saka plays more of a winger as type and more of a left back as well at times. So the ones I've included is Grealish, Maddison, Foden, and Mount. Okay, so if we start off with you, Damo, first, give me your views for who you think is going to be the leading light for England's future midfield.
Well, yeah, this is
sorry, which Dave? Not me, isn't it?
Sorry, Damien F. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I thought you said
Big
Dave.
D, we call him, yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
You're getting it confused, fam.
All right, we got little D and Big D, yeah.
Yeah, Big D. This is me.
In your dreams, brother.
Sorry, man. He's grabbed the title, man. Sorry.
Right. So to be fair, Gav, that was a good question to start with.
Yeah.
We've had this discussion. Well, I've had this discussion at work and with people. To me, out of those 4,
yeah,
the first person on that team sheet, if I think from a Premier League club or for the national team, for me, the first player that gets mentioned is Grealish. Basically down to he is a creative talent that we haven't seen in a generation.
Yeah.
To me, the last time I see someone like him is going to be, again, we're all going to have opinions on this. The last time I see someone like him is maybe Gascoigne. I don't know, maybe someone a little bit closer, maybe someone like Scholes, something like that. But
to be honest, I agree. I agree. Like for me, Grealish is one of my favourite players playing at the moment. I do think he's quite underrated in terms of the stature in world football.
Definitely.
What are people doing now? I think people are only clocking onto him quite late. I was aware of him when he was in the Championship, just kind of some of the things he was doing in the Championship. And he was for me. I could see the talent. I didn't think he'd have the same impact in the Premiership as what he has done. But I mean, I just think that he's just got something a bit different. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah, he's a unharnessed talent. He's someone we need to not throw too much pressure on. If you're thinking as the national manager, don't throw too much, too much pressure on that guy. Just let him do his thing. He is that guy that can pick that pass or pick apart a defence or just that little bit of flair that other players in that league don't have and we haven't seen. So to me, out of those 4, he's the first person you just got to be like, right, straight up, he goes in. Don't matter if it's for Villa. Me, personally, I think he walks into Man United. He doesn't command a first team spot there myself until he can showcase that he's up to that echelon of players. He can walk into Arsenal. I think he can walk into Spurs. Yeah. He could get a good berth at Liverpool. I think he's definitely worthy of better things, and he's played his course for Villa, and he should be looking on to better things now.
What about What about West Ham? Can you walk into West Ham team?
All day long, all day long.
Mate, I have to be honest, man. I think he might struggle at the moment.
You know, we just got. It will take Mark Noble out of the equation. That sideways passing ball merchant. Yeah. Stick him in there with Rice, and I think, do you know what I mean? There could be champion. Could be champion.
I think Jay Lings has got his number, boy. To be honest with you, Jay Lings is doing his thing. man like Jesse Lingard is doing his thing at the moment. So
yeah, he's doing.
And what do you think, Dame, about Foden, Mount, and Maddison?
To me, the one player that sticks out in my mind out of the four that I don't feel at the moment belongs there is Mount. Okay, I don't think he's worthy of being mentioned with those three at this time.
Yeah.
But I do think he's going to be worthy of that spot in another 2 years. I mean, the kid's only like 20 years old. For me, Maddison he's looking like a very, very comfortable midfielder. You know, he's leading Leicester well. Look where they are in the table. Sorry, who else was you saying? So it's Grealish,
Foden, Maddison, and
Foden to me is an exciting player. For me to watch him again, what is he, 22, something like that? And
I think Foden might be, but 2021, I think.
2021. When he goes into that team in the Man City side, he doesn't look out of place in any way, shape, or form. And let's have it right. With all their millions, they are the top club in the Premier League at the moment. Yeah, you know, not going back to them being like the biggest club, but they are with the money being backed and the football that they're playing, they are the biggest club at the moment. Yeah. You know, they're surpassing the others. Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, I agree. I agree with a majority of what you just said there, Dame. To be honest, to be fair, it's a hard pick, and there will be more players coming through, but I think obviously them four at the moment are the main four. And I mean, I know who I'd pick, who I'll tell you guys at the end. But I do think, if I'm honest, if England do want to do something in the Euros this season, I do believe all four of them should actually go.
100%.
And just 100%. Change it up a bit. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no, I do agree with what you're saying. So we move on to Oz. So Oz, who would you say in that list? Who's your favourite, or who do you think is going to have the biggest potential for England in years to come? Unmute yourself, bro. Bro, you're on mute.
There we go. You muted it, bro. Anyway, out of the four, definitely for me, it's Foden's number one.
Okay.
For me, Foden is number one. The footballing brain on the guy is just immense.
Yeah.
I
agree.
His first touch, his vision. Like when I'm watching him play, I'm seeing a little bit of essence. He's nowhere near, but got the essence of David Silva.
Yeah.
Him playing with those boys, training with them week in, week out, and the fact that he didn't go out on loan, I think, all right, it's taken him a little bit longer to break into the team, into City, but the fact that he stayed and he was learning of probably one of the best midfielders the Premiership has ever seen.
I agree.
And then obviously having De Bruyne there as well gives him a different aspect of the game because they're different players, him, De Bruyne and Silva. So for me, Foden's definitely number one. I wouldn't take Mount. I wouldn't take Mount anywhere. I wouldn't even have Mount in the Chelsea team, to be honest with you.
To be honest with you, I agree with that as well, if I'm honest. Which I'll touch on that point later, but go on.
For me, Mount is come through the youth team. He's grown up. He's loved at Chelsea. Just because you're a favoured player, he gets too much hype. And I don't agree with that at all. Yeah. Jack Grealish. And the other thing, Foden is 20, and he's still learning.
Yeah.
And yeah, how old is Mount? I think Mount's around 21.
Mason Mount, I think might be either 20 or 21. I think, if I remember right, I think he's actually 20. 20 or 21, one of them two. I think maybe 20 though.
And then after that, we've got Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is about 25, I think.
Grealish is 24.
With Jack Grealish, he's on fire. This season, he is on fire. and he's
Yeah.
doing it in the Premiership.
Mm.
Haven't seen him do it against the best of the best. So in the Champions League, or
Yeah.
maybe let's go into the Europa League. I would like to see him do it there. Foden, I know I could put him into a Champions League semi-final, final, and I know he'll produce the goods for me.
Yeah.
If you've never played at that level before, all right, you need the opportunity. The other thing is 24 pushing on to 25. Aston Villa could get 80, 90 million for him right now.
Easy.
They could get that money. And we're in the game where the money is there. So for me, the question is, I love Jack Grealish. Great player, but why has no one just gone, yeah, you know what? You want 80 million? We're going to give it to you. You want 90 million plus add-on? We're going to give it to you. There isn't a team out there that's actually said that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the fact that it's another thing like with Zaha for me. Zaha was doing it. Crystal Palace went to United, didn't work out. I think, like I said, I do love him, but I don't think he could be elite level like Foden can. Mount, we already discarded him. James Maddison, I think he's about 24 as well. He's having good season.
I think Maddison might be 22, 21, 22. He's slightly, he's a couple of years younger than Grealish, yeah. The youngest out of all them is
I'm gonna quickly have a little look. Mount's the youngest.
I think Foden and Mount might be the same age, but I know Grealish is the oldest, and I know what's his face.
I think Madison's about 24, Gav, just offhand.
Yeah, I think he's 24 as well.
No, I think no, he's definitely
he's 24. He's 24.
Madison's 24 now.
It's 24.
Really?
And then that's the other thing. So
I thought Madison was younger than that.
No, he's 24.
Foden's
20.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish is 25.
25 now, yeah? All right.
Yeah. So, but with Maddison, I can't see him getting better than what he is.
Yeah.
So if we was to take him into the Euros, I would say Grealish 100%.
Yep.
Foden 100%.
Yep.
And for me, Maddison would be on the bench. But another player for the future that I'll be looking at is Eze.
Eze. Yeah.
If he chooses to play for England, or I don't know who's picked yet.
Listen, if he's got a brain, he goes and plays for Nigeria. England won't give him his props there. You know what I mean?
Fair point.
That's another conversation.
Yeah.
But Eze, for me, Eze goes past what's his name, Mount. And for me at the moment, I think Eze is on the same level as Maddison, but definitely can get better than him.
Cool. To be honest with you, man. Yeah, I mean, I agree totally. I mean, to be fair, I say all four of them are good. For me, Mason Mount, if I had to pick four of them in order, for me, he's a good footballer, but I think the other three are ahead of him in terms of output and in terms of ability. But yeah, no, I say, I agree. I agree with totally.
The differences as well I'm seeing with Chelsea.
Yeah.
They're playing around Mount. Mount is their focal point. Whereas Jack Grealish, he gets all the headlines in Aston Villa, but they're a team.
Yeah.
With Foden can be the main man, or he can be part of a team. Well, Maddison's a main focal point as well. So Mount and Maddison are main focal points. Whereas the other two, they can do both. They can carry the team if they need to carry the team, and they can interject with their systems. Whereas I don't think the other two can. You put them into a system at another team, I don't really see them producing.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Football now is more of a systems game. This is why I rate someone like Grealish, because Grealish for me is a last of a dying breed of the kind of player that he is, which I'll touch on my point later. But yeah, I say I agree with what you're saying. If we move on, Tubbsy, you're up next. So, in your opinion, what order would you go for, or who's your favourite player out of them four?
I won't necessarily say an order. I'll just say my favourite. For me, these questions are obviously subjective for everyone. I haven't seen much of the other players. Obviously, I'm going to say who I like the best, and I've seen the most of. But for me, hands down, Foden. It's very simple, very easy. A lot of what Oz said, I agree with. He's been at Man City. He's been under Pep. He's been playing with De Bruyne. He's been playing with Silva. And you think at City, look at the competition at City. You've got Sterling there. You've got Mahrez, potentially Bernardo Silva if he plays in them positions. And he's been starting, been getting goals. He's deceptively quicker than he appears. He's a goal-getting player. He can play out wide. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. He can, for me, it's there's not much comparison for me. It's quite, I think Foden hands down. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't seen much of the others, so it's biased, obviously. Yeah.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, Tubbs, I mean, Foden for me, the reason I like Foden as well is because he's left-footed, you know what I mean? And I'm always drawn to left-footers, obviously being left-footed myself. As I say, I think Foden, if you look at Foden's game, you don't really see players like that coming through the system. Foden for me, I don't look at him as English. I look at him as like a Spanish player. Do you know what I mean? Just the way he plays. Because England don't really produce these kind of players. But obviously, because you've got foreign coaches now, you're going to have different style of players coming through. And obviously, they're being nurtured a bit differently because, as you know, with this country, like a lot of players are blood, sweat and tears kind of players that are coming through. But as I say, with someone like Foden, man, Foden's going to go far. I just hope really that, I mean, this manager, Gareth Southgate, I don't rate him, but I can see him stifling someone like a Foden because Foden, for me, should be playing every game. So should Grealish. You know, I don't want to see no more Jordan Hendersons out there. Not really a big, massive fan of Rashford. I'd rather see Grealish there, Foden playing, and I think that's the way forward. So man, I can't argue with that really.
And the other thing about Foden as well, I think it was against Man United, he was switching wings. And then even someone like Wan-Bissaka, who who's so good man-to-man marking, he was having trouble. He didn't know how to get too tight of him. He could spin me. He knows he's quick, so he can't get. Do you know what I mean? He's tricky. He's tricky. He's quick. He thinks fast. So he's a handful for any fullback. So
I agree.
And he gets goals as well. He's been getting a lot of goals. So.
No, I agree. I agree.
And sorry, just lastly, actually on Foden, I think it was on the Amazon Prime. So that's where I saw it when they were talking about. It was the Man City documentary. And I think Pep was talking about Foden, and I think he was saying when Pep joined City, everyone was saying to him, "You need to look at this boy, look at this boy, look at this boy." And I think he said he looked at him once, and it was like you could see this boy is going to be serious.
I remember reading about that.
And I think it wasn't. It sounded like he was playing against. He was playing in the younger. He was playing in the older group, so he was the younger boy playing in the older group. He's like so ahead of his time, basically.
He just with Pep's a master. Like he just sees something in him straight away. And it's even like, for instance, as well, I remember when there was something about Jack Wilshere, and Pep said we got about 20 Wilsheres at Barcelona when obviously he was manager. Do you know what I mean? So Pep's got an eye for talent. Do you know what I mean? And if he can see something in Foden from early, what we're seeing now wasn't a surprise to someone like Pep. Do you know what I mean? So But no, I say I agree with you, Chaz, man. Foden's a top player, man. So I agree with that. Let's move on. Move on to Dave. That iPhone working properly here, Dave?
Yeah, the thing's working proper. I've got the AirPods in as well, so you know the thing.
Cool. So man. So same thing, man. In your opinion, who would you say has got the biggest potential out of them four? Maddison, Grealish, Foden, and Mount.
I think you're right, and from listening to what a lot of other people are saying, I think we all got a similar view. I think the comparisons are slightly unfair because a few of the players are not the same type or sort of player, if in my opinion. Like Mount, I see as more as an out-and-out winger. You know, I don't see Mount as a creative midfielder, whereas perhaps the other three would be more creative as midfielders. I see Mount more as almost like a workhorse. You know, he's the one that starts to press and is getting about the pitch. and sometimes sets the tone for Chelsea, where the other luxury players don't really want to be pressing. So they've got to have him in there because he's eager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I view Mount. So I kind of disregard him, but I feel like you disregarded another player, Saka. But I think that was a bit unfair because Saka's young and in an underperforming Arsenal team. You know, I think he's deserving of going to Euros, but again, he's not a creative midfielder. So if we're talking about the creative midfielders, I'm going to definitely be going with Foden over Grealish. I think Grealish is a fantastic player, but I think, like you said, he's the last of a dying breed, and football's evolved so much that not just football in general, I'm talking about the English game, has evolved so much that it's become just like a physical sport, and just like everything's a bit oi, oi, bang, bang. It's not like fluid like Spain and these other countries where I feel like Grealish would suit going to Barcelona. That would be
100%.
where he should be going. Do you know what I mean? I think the Prem is not for him. He's got to realise that I've done my thing in the Prem after Villa, and if they can get into Europe and he can get some European experience, he needs to be looking at going abroad, because that's the best.
You know what? The biggest accolade I can give to Jack Grealish, is that he can just walk into Barcelona's team, easy.
But he is that kind of player. He's that kind of player. That's the player they need. That's the kind of players that, you know, Barcelona's DNA is built on. You know, when you're talking about, you know, your Man United, Man Cities, I think he might struggle because he slightly holds on to the ball a bit too long, whereas Barcelona will allow him to do that and have that freedom and fluidity to his game. Yeah. But for me, Foden is the guy. I do really like Maddison because I think he's a good technician. You know, he's very good on the ball. He sees a pass, and his free kicks are becoming amazing. He even, like, I see him on the weekend, you know, score a bottom corner goal. You know, I think he's adding that to his game, the goals. So that's great to see, and it's great for English football. But Foden, hands down, is the best player out of those four. But I think Foden has had the slight unfair advantage, like you guys touched on. You know, this guy's got all the tools already. You know, and you know, I don't want to put anything against him because they always say hard work beats talent if talent don't work hard. And Foden's clearly working hard. You know, he's clearly working hard, but and he's got talent, but he's got Pep. You know, who's a mastermind in you know, developing him. The players that he's got around him, he's got the option and the ability to learn. You know, I think with Grealish, he's the best player there. No one can't teach him nothing. You need to always be somewhere where you can grow and develop and you can learn from others. So I think that's where Grealish perhaps is struggling, that he is a fantastic player, but you need to continuously learn. He's only going to learn by playing and possibly getting a move to a different country. And if he can play in the Champions League, the Europa League, get that European experience, that's only going to bring him on more. But Foden is the future of England. And, you know, I heard Guardiola say even for 500 mil, they won't sell him, you know. So
somehow I think he's lying.
Yeah, I do too, because I reckon he'll buy Messi and a few other players, wouldn't he?
There you go.
But yeah, when you look at the players that Man City have got, for Foden to be getting in that team, he's obviously got to be a fantastic talent. And I think, you know, he's obviously had that perhaps unfair advantage of being under one of the best coaches in the world, who's going to develop him, as well as learning from some amazing players like you guys touched on. You know, he used to do one-to-ones with David Silva. Like, you know, who else is getting that kind of knowledge? And that's sort of the key, you know, knowledge. And he's got players like Foden, Sterling, you know, Cancelo's another fantastic player. The guys are right back playing in midfield at times, you know.
That Cancelo is taking fullbacks to a whole nother level now, the way he plays.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, you've got to really watch the game to understand what he does. He hardly plays as a fullback, you know.
But you know what? For me, Cancelo is doing something similar to the way Dani Alves changed the game. Because before Dani Alves come into the game, there was no right back doing what he was doing, and I feel Cancelo is changing that a bit now. The way he's going into midfield, do you know what I mean? Imagine someone like a Wan-Bissaka doing that. It would be all over the place. You know what I mean?
Confused.com, innit?
I you, man. So, but no, he's a top player, man. But No, as I said, Dave, man, I agree with that, man. Foden, I say a lot of you boys love Foden, and I say I'm one of them as well. So yeah, I mean, if he's training with the likes of David Silva, De Bruyne, and that every day, you can only get better, really. So obviously, you got to have the talent as well, and the fact that Pep's actually playing him, and if you notice as well, Pep doesn't play him where he actually plays in the centre of the pitch. He's playing on the wing because he's learning his craft in the game. Do you know what I mean? So he's learning different positions, and then when he gets to a certain, probably when he gets like mid-20s or maybe about 22, 23, that's when I think he'll come into his own into the centre of the pitch. But yeah, man, I say I agree with what you're saying, man. It's a good point you made as well. For me, okay, so I'm just gonna just give you guys some numbers. I'm not really someone that's big on stats, but sometimes I do feel stats need to come out when you're kind of comparing players. So I'll put Saka in there as well, because obviously it's only right that he's in there. So Saka's got, this season, he's got 5 goals, 2 assists. So obviously 8 goal involvements, a pass accuracy of 87.74% and 47 dribbles completed. James Maddison, 6 goals, 5 assists, 11 goal involvements, 82% pass accuracy, 36 dribbles. Jack Grealish, 6 goals, 10 assists, 16 goals and assists combined, 80.54 pass accuracy, 62 dribbles. Phil Foden, 5 goals, 3 assists, combined for 8 goal involvement, 87.74 pass accuracy, 47 dribbles. And then Mason Mount, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 goal involvements, 87.21 pass accuracy, 52 dribbles completed. Okay. Now, these stats here, I mean, you can clearly see that Jack Grealish, obviously, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, is one of my favourite players playing at the moment. And he basically tops the stats in terms of goals and assists. And obviously the passing accuracy as well, they can be a bit distorted, because what they don't tell you is that a little 2-yard pass obviously will increase your pass accuracy. Yeah. So for me, as I say, Grealish and Foden for me are the top 2. The reason I'm going to say Grealish is because with Grealish, I believe that not only is he, in my opinion, top 3 best players in the league, I believe he can go and play for any team in the world, and that's including Bayern Munich right now. He's that good. He's the most fouled player in Europe as well, and that's even ahead of someone like Neymar. And you see the amount of times Neymar gets chopped down. Yeah, he's the most fouled player in Europe. And if you compare these players with Grealish as well, I don't believe any of these players will do what Grealish is doing at Aston Villa. Because if you look at Maddison's playing for a good Leicester team. Mason Mount's at a Chelsea team that spent over 200 million in the transfer window. Sorry, one sec. You've got Foden, who's obviously at Man City. And then you've got obviously Saka, who's at Arsenal, who are having a bit of a poor season. But I just feel that with Grealish, if Grealish don't play well, Aston Villa don't get a result. So he's that crucial. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the rest of these players, if they have like a bit of an off day, they've still got someone else that can step up. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I choose Grealish. Grealish for me, he's not only one of the best players in the league, he's also England's best player, best talent. And I'll take him ahead of, I mean, in terms of Harry Kane, Raheem Sterling, Rashford, Sancho, Foden. I think if Grealish plays well for England in the European Championships, for me, England will go far. Do I believe England will win it? No way. There's no way they're going to beat a France or a Germany, in my opinion, or one of the top nations out there. But I do believe they could be a threat, and central to that is Grealish. He has to play, in my opinion. So yeah, that's my choice, Jack Grealish. So yeah, we'll move on. Okay. Now this one. This one will be very interesting. I think I might know who you guys might go for. But I think this one player on is, personally, I think he's quite overlooked. And there could be a reason for that. But I'll let you guys obviously have your say. And that's the debate. So Who was better in their prime, Karim Benzema or Robert Lewandowski? So we'll start off with you, Oz. Unmute yourself.
Boy, that's a difficult one, you know. Very, very tough one.
Yeah.
See, I love Benzema. I love Benzema. Top player. The fact that he's so unselfish as well.
Yeah.
But then you got Lewandowski, who created just as many assists and scored more goals than Benzema. I think I just got a few stats here that I was just looking at. Real Madrid got Benzema for 26 million from Lyon.
Yeah.
In what, the 09-10 season, yeah? 2009-2010 season. And I think it was what, 370 games, got 181 goals and 181 goals in 370. But then you look at, and I can't remember how many assists, but then you got Lewandowski that come for free from Borussia Dortmund. They didn't even pay a penny for him. That is a steal. And then
it makes you want to cry, innit?
And that's just in La Liga, the 370 games, 181 goals. That don't include Champions League or whatnot.
Yeah.
But then with Lewandowski, 342 games, 262 goals. Now, there's elements to it. So if I was just to base it purely on Champions League, I'd have to go with Benzema. Sorry, I'd have to go with Lewandowski, not Benzema. Lewandowski for the Champions League. When it comes down to the German league and La Liga, I think everyone agrees. La Liga is a much more competitive league. You've got more technical players. The standard is higher. So if Lewandowski is going and banging in 5 goals a game or gets a hat-trick every other week in the Bundesliga, obviously you rate it. The guy is a clever player. I didn't realize how fast he was until I actually watched him. I didn't realize how much pace he's actually got. The ball retention, but you're not playing against the same opposition. He'd go into La Liga and he'll still get the goals.
Yeah.
But what's saying if Benzema didn't go into Bundesliga, he'd have just done as well, or might have even got more goals than Lewandowski.
Yeah.
So I'm undecided. I love the way Benzema plays. The guy's creative, and he's that team player. Whereas Lewandowski is a predator.
Yeah. They
can both do the same thing. They can both play off each other. They can hold up the ball to get their teammates in, heading, long range shooting, tap-ins. They're both masterminds. As much as I love Benzema, I probably would give it to Lewandowski though. Yeah. Just.
I mean, to be honest with you, man, whatever one you go for, it's going to be a tight one anyway. Do you know what I mean? I think personally, a lot of people will probably go Lewandowski, and that's purely based on numbers, if I'm honest. And to be honest with you, that's obviously people's perception. I look at things a bit differently, but as I say, there's no right and wrong answer. So,
I think there's one thing with Benzema, which is away from football, he's had a bad rep. But that's got nothing to do. Personally, I don't think Benzema's at fault of any of it. So with all the scandals and everything else with his French teammate, I think a lot of it was to do political, being French-Algerian.
Yeah.
I think that had a lot to do with things. Whereas Lewandowski, the guy's never put a foot wrong. He even put out a stupid little TikTok and everyone goes crazy for it because it's Lewandowski. So I don't think Benzema gets enough credit for what he's achieved. I think between them, they've won that 50, 60 trophies between them. It's crazy. So, but
bad boy guys.
Yeah, but Lewandowski has consistently done it in the Champions League. I think that's why it pips Benzema for me.
So what, you edging Lewandowski, yeah?
Just on percentages, he'd be 51%. Benzema would be 49.
Yeah, as I say, I mean, I can't really argue with that. Yeah, Lewandowski's a top striker. For me, he's the best striker in the world currently. I say, well, number nines are a dying breed now, but I think he still remains top at this moment in time, and rightly so. So yeah, I can't agree with that. We move on. Move on to Tubbs. So Tubbs, in your opinion, Lewandowski or Karim?
I think, as Oz said, it's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. I think what's actually quite funny is that they're very different,
Yeah.
but very similar. And it sounds like a sit on the fence statement, but
Yeah.
Lewandowski is, for me, he's everything you want in a number 9 and more. He's got a touch. He's got enough pace. He's good in the air. He's strong. He can use both feet. He's technical. He's skillful. I think Benzema was benefited and hindered by Ronaldo. So when he's at Madrid, Ronaldo come in, Benzema has to play second fiddle. Benzema
100%.
almost, in the front three, Benzema was almost sometimes wide. I'd watch him, Benzema's out wide, assisting Ronaldo. But it hindered his progress as a number 9 or the numbers. I haven't looked at any numbers, but the goals, goal output, etc. But it benefited him because it made him an all-round better player. But at the same time, Lewandowski's ability to bring players into the game. I think I watched they played against Chelsea, and it was I think, is it Gnabry?
Yeah.
Is that the player's name? Yeah, him, Lewandowski, Gnabry. I forgot who else it was. And Lewandowski's interplay, not even scoring goals, assisting,
starting on the other side.
Yeah, that's it. So Lewandowski showed me his ability to bring players in the game.
Yeah.
The thing I'd say is, your message initially was who was better in their prime.
In their prime, yeah.
I would say to you, technically, Lewandowski's still in his prime. I would say. I would actually argue he's probably still in his prime. I think last season, correct me if I'm wrong, he equaled or beat the goal scoring record in Champions League.
Yeah, he might have done.
And people got to realise he done that. There was only one legs in the latter fixtures.
Yeah, he's third he's third highest goal scorer in Champions League
League
history now.
Yeah, and you think last season with
his goal the other day, top Raul's record, isn't it?
Okay, so you think last season as well, there wasn't even second legs in much of the latter games. So how many more goals would he have got? It's not nice to compare them because I actually think they complement each other really well if they were playing together. But for me, Lewandowski is just he's a beast and he's technical. He's too much. He's good enough without everything else he has. For me, I mean, I've had the pleasure, and Ozzy was there, of watching Benzema live against Villarreal. I think that's 2014. And again, touch. We see him bring the ball down at pace, technical. They're very similar, but I would say Lewandowski for me.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, as I said with Oz, man, I mean, I can't really complain, man, because as I say, Lewandowski is just a goal machine. You know what I mean? And consistently, I mean, game's not all about numbers, but he's consistently doing that, and just his all-round game anyway is of a top level. So, yeah, man, he's a great player for me, Lewandowski. And I think unlucky for him is that he's actually playing for Poland, because I believe that obviously you can say it's with many players, but if he played for a bit more of a competitive national team, I believe he might have had a European Championships already, or
definitely.
I wouldn't say World Cups. I think World Cup is a bit harder, but I reckon he at least have a European Championships under his belt.
But as Benzema got,
because Benzema
France, isn't it?
When France won,
he's banned, innit? He's banned, innit? He can't play for France.
Well, he quit.
He said let him play for Algeria, but they're having it. Like it's political, like everyone's touched on. You know.
You know what? It just shows you how good France are, because you've got arguably France's best striker not even involved, and look what they're doing. You know what I mean? But their squad's anyway.
I think the one thing I'd say about Lewandowski who does it for me, he's hands down the best striker in the world. Yeah. For me, that's just as simple as that. So that's why I'll give it to him.
No, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. Yeah. Cool. We'll move on. Dave? So Lewandowski, Benzema, in your opinion, who are you going for?
When you're talking about prime, I know everyone keeps talking about Lewandowski. Lewandowski's old now, so I think he's like fine wine. He's aged. As his age he's got better, and he's really improved his game. And obviously, playing in a Bayern Munich team, you know, with those superstars, obviously fantastic for him. I know, you know, Benzema's playing in a superstar Galactico team also, but I do think they are both phenomenal strikers and phenomenal forwards. But I do feel like Benzema was hindered by the whole Ronaldo stint. You know, everything went through Ronaldo. The job was to provide for Ronaldo, you know. And I can't imagine that, you know, if Lewandowski had to play that position, that he would still have the amount of goals that Benzema has. Then that's what I think is testament to Benzema. You know, again, like, people are looking at the numbers, but I think, you know, Benzema was an out-and-out striker and was playing in that position. Everyone's playing to provide goals for him through the same period of time, and in their prime, you know, Benzema definitely would then be the best striker in his prime. And I see some goals that Benzema scores. I'm not taking stuff away from, you know, my man Lewandowski, because he's a bad boy striker as well. But some goals that Benzema score, it's just like ridiculous. I think there's one that he controls the ball don't touch the floor, and he volleys it in the air, like bang, back of the net, like top bins. Not even like, it's crazy, you know. And you think about it and you think, you know, all right, he's not playing for his national team. They're saying about, okay, hands down, Lewandowski is the best striker in the world, but he's not carried Poland really to anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that if, for me, if he was doing that, he is a phenomenal striker. But if he was that great, surely, you know, even in that Polish team, he'd be getting them to semi-finals and, you know, close to finals. But it doesn't seem that, you know, I know football is a team sport, but, you know, he should be dragging them through just like Ronaldo dragged through Portugal at one point.
Yeah.
You know, that's my opinion of it. So, sorry, I'm going to have to disagree. My boy Kareem, I'm going with Kareem because I just feel that he was hindered by the playing second fiddle to Ronaldo. And if Lewandowski had been in that position, I don't think he would have achieved the same as what Benzema has achieved.
The thing is, though, the one thing I would say, though, in comparison to when you're saying Ronaldo led Portugal to the European Championships, I think in a way it's a bit unfair because Portugal have a better squad than what Poland has. You know what I mean? It's like if Lewandowski's not showing up, then not many are.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But Poland have got a decent team, you know. And when I'm comparing it to Portugal, Portugal's team now is phenomenal. But back then, when they had this, Renato, whoever it is that played for Swansea at one point, come on, bro. Like, that's what I'm trying to say, innit? I'm making a comparison to that time, that moment in time. Now, Portugal are in a different level. They're in a different league with these Cancelos, Bernardos, all them boys come through, Bruno Fernandes. Before, they weren't in that position when Ronaldo was dragging them through. So that's what I'm making the comparison to. I get totally your point, and I agree. Now, they're much better than Poland, but Lewandowski's played for Poland for however long. So despite whatever their team was, I would have expected him, as the phenomenal striker we're all claiming that he is, to have dragged them to at least something. Do you know what I mean? And that's what is sort of tipping it for me to say, you know what, Benzema's the guy, because really he's playing second fiddle, or he's played second fiddle to Ronaldo, you know, still produced the goods.
Yeah.
If Lewandowski was in that position, would he have produced the goods? I don't know, you know, but I've got to give Kareem then the benefit of the doubt. You know, he's been playing handicapped and still achieving, you know. That shows, you know, the levels. You know, you start putting Lewandowski on the wing, do you still get 20 goals a season?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's where you got to ask the question, you know. So, I'm
going for Benzi, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going for Kareem.
Cool. Nah, as I say, man, it's a hard one, but based on those facts that you're giving out, I say I can't disagree with that. That's a fair point, man. To be honest. We'll move on. Damo, who are you going for? You're gonna make it 2-2, or you're gonna
listen? This this was a great question, and you know what? It's good to see. Yeah, is across the board, all of us know the same reasons for the. You could summarize it as the demise of Benzema, which is he was the great player. He come across from Lyon at the right time, went to Real Madrid 2009. Yeah, and then what? Later that season, next season, Ronaldo's come in, and then that was it. Yeah, look, he is testament to Benzema. Yeah, he stayed up there. I think he was averaging between 20 to 40 goals on numerous seasons. Yeah, good point. What Dave was saying. Do I think Lewandowski would have done that? Playing that position? Not a chance in hell. Yeah, Benzema is a hard player, always will be. The thing is, what he deserved before all the politics and that sort of thing is he deserved to have had a team made around him. Yeah, when Wenger brought Henry from Juventus, he took him from the left winger, he made him his out and out striker, right? Then he puts in Patrick Vieira. Yeah, he's got Emmanuel Petit there, and he's got Robert Pires. Yeah, and we're gonna laugh now. We're gonna say even down to Sylvain Wiltor. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Good old Sylvain, yeah.
Good old Sylvain Wiltor, yeah. You've got the French nucleus national team supporting the best player in the world, and let's have it right. The two best forwards out and out has been R9 and Henry all day long. Yeah, you say any strikers, you're gonna say they're the first two from any generation. You can say that's who I'm gonna have on my team sheet. Yeah. Benzema deserved at that point. After
what? You don't fancy Heskey, no?
Allow it.
Emil Heskey and Tony Yeboah. You know
sorry, Emil.
No,
Dame, I just add to that. He had Bergkamp as well.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
The service level was serious. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Benzema deserved that as a player. Yeah. He had everything there. And Real Madrid they've done the right bit of business getting Ronaldo in. Yeah. That made them the biggest club, and they got all the European championships. They've obviously got that history before him anyway. Yeah. But Benzema deserved to have had that berth at another club. Whether he'd gone up to the Catalans, gone to Barcelona, or gone to Serie A, you know what I mean? Done a thing with Juventus or AC when they needed that change because they've been non-existent for the last 10 years until Zlatan's back. Yeah. He deserved that. I think it's very unfortunate that we're not talking about him on a higher playing field than Lewandowski. Lewandowski, to me, is a Rolls Royce of a player. He is a great player. But again, being a Polish national, it is testament to the quality of German football, and especially Bayern Munich, that they've retained him. They took him for free. That is the best bit of business ever. It took him from free from the other biggest club in Germany. Went, we'll have him. And what they've always done, right, you're going to have trophies.
They just hoover up all the best talent in that country.
Exactly. And now, for me, as an English player, if I had any sort of talent, I'll be looking to go to Germany, not necessarily Spain, because I know that their culture is going to say, we've brought you for a reason. We are going to mould it for you. So, to me, yes, it is Lewandowski now, but if it hadn't been down to politics, like Dave was saying and Ozzy Tubb said, we'd have been speaking about him in a higher echelon. Unfortunately, due to what has happened, we're not. So Lewandowski, I feel, you put him into another club, he does it. Out of position, not a chance. In his position, yes. Out of position, no way. That's testament to Benzema as a player, that he's that his ability allows him to go, do you know what? You shift me down there, I'm still going to perform. And look, 12 years at Real Madrid. They're the biggest club in the world. Yeah, not for turnover. Turnover's Man United, right? But people are still going to say you want to go to the Real Madrid. So
And sorry, Damo, and Madrid are notorious for getting rid of players.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so he's been there that long as well.
You might get 3 or 4 years if you're half decent, and then look. Figo and Zidane weren't there that long, and look how long they were doing the bits for them. I know they were there for a couple of years, but none of them did more than 6 years. I think it 6-7 years tops.
I think if I'm right, I think the longest serving players is Benzema and Ramos. If I'm right.
There we go. And look
Yeah,
at them.
and I think probably Marcello, I think as well, might be one of them.
Yeah, and they're still elite. They're still elite players.
Yeah, 100%.
Very much.
Listen, so who you got? You going for Benzema? Yeah.
No, now the best player in the prime is because he's never had that slight blemish.
Yeah.
But it should have been Benzema, and I think everyone probably would say, yeah, do you know what? That's true. But he's a Rolls Royce player.
Yeah.
You put him in.
I think maybe what it is, I think because you've got a difference between prime and peak. Yeah. I think with Lewandowski, well, in a way, both of them are at their peak now. So meaning they're not going to get better than what they really are now.
No, of course not.
I would probably say. So this is a weird one because Lewandowski was probably better than Benzema in his prime, but that's only, in my opinion, that's due to Benzema not really being allowed to express himself the way that it should have been.
Good
so
point.
it's quite a difficult one. But if I just give you the numbers just quickly, so Benzema joined Real Madrid 2009. Yeah. So from 2009, and that's the same year that Cristiano joined as well. Yeah. And then Cristiano left in 2018. So Benzema's numbers read like this: 9 goals 2009, 30 in 2010, 31 in 2011, 22 in 2012, 23 the following season 2013, 24 in 2014, 28 2015, 18 in 2016, 12 2017, 29 in 2018 when Ronaldo went, 28 in 2019, and then the 16 so far this season. And then you read Lewandowski's numbers. So Lewandowski joined Bayern Munich 2013. So at Dortmund, he hit 19, 9 and 31 in 2009 up till 2011. And then his numbers at Bayern, which has been insane, 2012, 38, 2013, 28, 2014, 38, 2015, 42, 2016, 60, 2017, 43, 2018, 37, 2019, 56, and then this season he's got 34 and 36. So as we know, and obviously the German league, obviously, it's more of a tactical, technical kind of league. Do you know what I mean? But I mean his numbers have been consistent all the way throughout. Now, for me, the better player, in my opinion, is Benzema, and the reason you see the hype that someone like an Erling Haaland is getting now. That was Benzema. Benzema was actually a better footballer than Haaland. Obviously, Haaland has the numbers, but in terms of Benzema's overall play, I remember when Benzema come to Old Trafford and he just destroyed the place when he was like 19, 20. And then, funny enough, after that, the same season, I think Real Madrid actually bought him. Now, the reason I like Benzema is because my favourite ever striker, as you boys probably know, is R9. I ain't seen a better striker than that guy till this day. Now, Benzema has come out and said R9 was his idol, and he modelled his game on R9. And you can see
that.
Sorry?
You can see that, bro.
You can see that, yeah? But the thing is, if you saw a young Benzema, I remember when France under-21s played England under-21s, and that's when Ribéry was playing as well. And Ribéry and Benzema just destroyed England. If I remember right, I think Shola Amiobi was playing for England under-21.
He got a lesson that day, bro.
To be fair, Shola Amiobi got a hat against Portugal, and that's when that was a team that contained Ronaldo and Quaresma and held up Postiga. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
anything can happen at them youth levels, boy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. But Benzema's always been a top player, and as you boys mentioned earlier, Benzema's game had to be adapted to suit Ronaldo, basically, which is why Kaká, who went there as well, struggled. So wherever Ronaldo goes, the big player that's already there is going to struggle. Just like what's happening to Paulo Dybala at Juventus now. So the question, I mean, with Lewandowski, could Lewandowski adapt his game to suit Ronaldo? And the answer to that is no. So it's testament to Benzema's ability and his overall game that he can adapt to play a more of a supporting role to allow Ronaldo to get the goals. Yeah. But in a way, that's been to the detriment of Benzema. But then Benzema's career, he's been there for a decade as well. Tell me which striker would be at a club for a decade. There ain't one. And there's always been talk about Harry Kane coming to replace Benzema, Erling Haaland, many Aubameyang back in the day, Lewandowski. There's always been talk about getting this striker in to replace Benzema, and it's testament to how good Benzema is, because Benzema's still there. Do you know what I mean? So that's how good he really is. And obviously, you boys have seen him play live, and I remember you boys were actually saying that he was just unreal. You know what I mean? And I can believe that. But yeah, as I said, man, it's a shame that Benzema, his true potential wasn't really on show, because he played a bit of a supporting role. And obviously now he's 33, so he's obviously on a decline, but he's still playing to a good level. But just purely based on ability, for me, it has to be Benzema. But that's not meaning to say that Lewandowski isn't a top player, because he is. And you're right, Tubbs. Lewandowski is a number 9 that you want, really. There's every attribute. He's good in the air, he's strong, he's fairly quick, he's technical, both feet, he can shoot, he can finish. There ain't a weakness in his game, and the goals prove that. But just for me, as I said, Benzema, yeah, he has to just edge it for me, and that's purely because of how I see the game. And I believe that Benzema's overall game is more suited to how I like seeing a striker play. So yeah, that's why I've chosen Benzema. But be honest with you, there's no right and wrong answer with them two guys. You know, for me, 2 of the best strikers of their generation, easily. So yeah, that's my view. So last one, we've got Bruno Fernandes. Now I'm gonna really enjoy this one, you know, because as I say, like, I can tell there's gonna be many different opinions, and I welcome them. Because I'll say this is what it's about. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone's going to agree to the same point, and everyone's going to have their point of view if they think he's good or if they think he's overhyped. I know what one I'm going to go for. So yeah, I'll let you guys take it away. So we'll go to you, Dave, first. Bruno Fernandes, is he over?
Wow.
Is the hype justified?
To be honest, I feel that it is a slight overhype, if I can be absolutely honest.
Yeah.
But he is producing the goods. But I think if you're a footballing person and you actually watch the game, you'll understand what Bruno Fernandes does. It's really chalk and cheese. Like, the guy can have a really good game, but he's having good moments in the game. He's not having a good overall game. And I think that's what lends it to him. I think, you know, if he plays up against top opposition, he gets found out slightly, because it's like he gives away the ball. But the way he operates is a high risk, basically. It's always attempting to do something that is, you know, outrageous, basically. Sorry to interrupt you, yeah, but you just said high risk, yeah? So when you're saying high risk, do you mean the way he plays risky passes 24/7? Is that what you mean? Yeah, he's the kind of guy, like, Guardiola wouldn't take him, because the guy's going to give him a headache, bro. He's just going to give away the ball. He's doing his own thing. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like, you know, when us man buck up at Power League and man them start doing something stupid, you're like, bro, like, play the game, play football. Like, we're trying to, you know, win the game. This guy's like, he's just doing his own thing. Like, you see him shooting from wherever. Like, so I see one game, like, he's just shooting from wherever. He's just ridiculous passes. And if you count how many times he actually lost the ball, you'd be like, what's going on here? It's ridiculous. You wouldn't pick him over the best midfielders in the world, creative midfielders, to say, yeah, I want him in my team to be the guy that creates and you know, goes forward. Yeah, I think the unfortunate position is Pogba's a better player than him. sorry, like I have to say it, yeah. If Pogba was given that license, he'd be dangerous. But for some reason, Bruno gets the opportunity to showcase his talent. And I think if I was Paul, I'd be frustrated as well. And I know we're not discussing Paul, but I just have to mention that, you know, how I see Man United, we should be really building our team around Paul, but there seems to be a real big focus because he's big, he's quick, he's strong. Let's stick him at the back, like, you know. Paul's not that kind of player. Like, you can see he's thinking and he's light years ahead of these guys. Like, he's playing a different game to them lots most of the time, you know. They're not reading what he's trying to do. They're not, you know, offering support when he needs it. That's why sometimes he has to hold on to the ball longer. But Bruno Fernandes, he's a great player, but, you know, I don't think that he's the player that everyone thinks. And I think with time, give it 2-3 seasons, he'll get found out, you know, because he will give the ball away so many times. If he was up against a top opposition, that it will cause you problems. You know, it will cause you problems for your ball retention. It will cause you problems in terms of, you know, just the ball turnover. Because if you play against a really good, right now, Man United are not a really good footballing side. We're a counter-attack side. But if you was playing against a good footballing side and you were trying to play football also, you know, he could get you in a lot of trouble just by misplaced passes and giving away the ball. And that's not what you want. But Solskjaer, you know, I don't know what he's doing really, because when I saw him, it was like half time or something, and it seemed like Bruno and Cavani were coaching him. You know what I mean? Like, they were on the sideline telling him, telling him, and it was embarrassing. Like, that's nothing against him, because he's clearly, obviously, got his badges, and, you know, he's a coach. But I think, you know, it's getting shown he's in depth or inept at Man United. You know, Man United are deserving of a really top coach. And if I was United, I'd be trying to go for the Leipzig manager and get someone in like him who understands football. Who understands football, you know, and gets players going in an efficient way, an efficient system to play an attractive type of football. The football that Man United are playing right now, shocking, you know. And Bruno Fernandes is like a plaster, basically, just covering over the cracks. That's all it is.
Listen, Dave, that's a great analysis, man. That is exactly what it is. You boys know my thoughts on that fraud Ollie anyway. To be honest with you, the only reason this guy is still in charge is because he stuck his leg out in '99. We all know that. You know what I mean? But that's the truth, though. Because if he didn't stick his leg out in '99, would he still be in charge now? I very much doubt it. The fact that he's even in charge in the first place just tells you where this club is going. You know what I mean? So, and as you say, Bruno Fernandes, he is covering up that wound very good. That's what I will say. And to be honest with you, credit to Bruno Fernandes. He does keep getting the goals, whether it be penalties or whatever. He does keep getting in there. There is reasons for that. But I mean, to be fair, I do agree with what you're saying, Dave. Like, I think he's just hiding the manager's deficiencies, really, if I'm honest. You know what I mean? And but that luck's gonna run out sooner than you think.
Yeah, exactly that.
You know
because that's the issue, isn't it? Really, is that luck's soon gonna run out. You know, he is doing the business, like you said. You know, so we've got to give him credit there. But he is a high risk player. You know, and one, you know, if you're probably in a game of your life, you don't want them kind of high risk players that are gonna, you know, those are the kind of players you bring on with like 5 minutes left. You know, you don't start that guy and start playing 90 minutes. You know, you bring him on 5-10 minutes left. Let's hope he does something. You know, that's it. But fortunately for Bruno, there's no one else there, and they don't seem to rate Paul for all his, you know, attributes. So, you know, he's getting his foot in there. Yeah, good luck to him.
Dave, I agree, man. I agree. Great analysis, man. I agree with what you're saying. You know, we'll move on. Big D. So what do you think? Bruno Fernandes, overhyped or is it justified?
Boy, Bruno Fernandes, Let's be honest. I think everyone's going to agree with this, if you look at all the spoils of the midfielders we've seen in our generation from current days to yesteryear, yeah, Bruno Fernandes does not blow anyone's fucking skirt up, pardon my language, yeah? As Dave said, rightly so, he's taking his opportune moment, yeah, to do what he pleases in a Man United side that are at 6s and 7s. They don't know where they're going. They were going down to like 10th at one point, and now it's a title charge. And again, this is going...
Never in the title challenge, never in it.
No, I mean, but you're in the mix, yeah? And
Yeah.
before, Ollie was sending you downwards very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And like you said, Solskjaer's there because of the Champions League final.
Yeah.
That is the merit. That is what he did. Yeah, he was a great impact sub, but that's what's got him in. He's done his coaching badges, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, Fernandes doesn't blow my skirt up in any way, shape, or form. You know, I happen to support a team that are having a great one-off season. Will probably get relegated next year. Would I say we'd want to go for a player like that? I wouldn't be interested in personally. I'd be like, well, you know, he does what he pleases.
Yeah. I think what it is, a lot of it depends on how you see the game. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, he's not in the chat now, but I know Stuart's a massive fan of Bruno, and he loves to keep messaging me, telling me, Bruno this, Bruno that, yeah? Don't know if he's on a wind-up, you know what I mean? I think he is. But
make sure he's not on the chat next week, then.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm going to get him on, and he can explain himself. But, I mean, to be fair, everyone's going to have differences of opinion. It's just that it just depends on how you see the game. And I think the biggest problem in football today is that, I mean, we can have this discussion, and you know what I mean? We can obviously have differences of opinion, but we can actually articulate and explain our points. But a lot of people these days, they're just fans of clubs. They're not really fans of football. So they're just going to see football in black and white. So someone like Bruno will have a quiet game for 85 minutes, get a goal on the last 5 minutes, and all of a sudden, they say he's played well. Yeah. But really and truly, are you watching the game? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right there, Gavin. Just I'll quickly go back to this as well.
Yeah.
Dave brought up a good point about Paul Pogba. Yeah, you've got the most recent World Cup winning captain, in your side. However, he's not being allowed to play as a player of his ability and his credentials should be able to play. Yeah. You re-signed him for a reason, which is to build a team around him.
Yeah.
Right? He gets crucified. Him and Lingard got crucified for doing all the combo dabbing and all the dancing and all that sort of stuff when he might have been having a slightly off game, yeah? But he's earned that right to play like that. Yeah. And you should be encouraging that play. Fernandes, he's only getting away with it at the moment because he's a quiet person that stays out of the news. He hasn't done anything particularly wrong. However, he's going to get found out quicker than what Dave said. Dave said about 2-3 seasons. When the crowds come back, Fernandes ain't going to be mustard. He ain't going to be people's cup of tea. He can't pull that stuff at Old Trafford, taking pot shots from nowhere, not getting it in on goal without getting heckled. And the away fans will do him in as well. They'll just be like, no, that ain't the standard. Look at the players you've had. You've had Ronaldo. You've had Cantona. You've had Beckham. You've had Scholes. Yeah. You've had Giggs. You've had Roy Keane.
Man like Tevez.
Dimitar
Berbatov. But I'm just talking about the midfielders, the spoils of midfielders that have been at Manchester United that made them the biggest club in the world. Bruno Fernandes ain't getting a sniff there. No way, shape or form. Yeah. And what I loved about Cristiano, even at Man United, and he left, 12 years ago now, he did all of his talking on the pitch. He did everything on the pitch, yeah? So it didn't matter what he did on the side. He's always stayed pretty clean to me, but he did his talking on his pitch, and that's why he's revered at every club. And that's why audiences will applaud him. Because he's like a Ronaldinho. Fernandes is not. He is very, very overhyped, but he'll get found out next season. And do you know what the worst thing about it is? You'll sell him off, and Paul Pogba will go as well. And then it's all of a sudden you've got a gaping hole there.
Listen, the club is in turmoil. That's what I'm going to say. They're in turmoil.
Yeah, agreed.
Just have a look at the backroom staff. Good old Darren Fletcher come back to the club to do what?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
to be honest, I think it's a false economy, you know, the league position and all of that. For these
Yeah.
man, it's like working from home, like you touched on, Dave. You know, they're not getting the stress that they would get if those fans were there in a packed out Old Trafford. Bruno trying that nonsense, giving away the ball.
They wouldn't be having it.
Listen, you know, that Uncle Belly or the Sing boys, they would not be having that. They would be up shouting at him, saying, "What are you doing?" You know, it's just how football is. I think, you know, because no one's there to be screaming and shouting at him. Ollie ain't gonna say nothing to him. You know, as long as he's producing the goods, he's just, you know, a ticking time bomb waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Agreed. Fully agreed.
No, I hear that, man. I hear that. As I say, some great points there as well. There's there's so many things wrong with this club. Obviously, we're not going to go into it because it's about Bruno Fernandes. But funny enough, when I'm saying there's so many things wrong with the club, technically he's part of the reason as well. Which obviously I'll have my say afterwards. But yeah, some good points. We'll move on to Tubbsy. Tubbs, what do you think? I kind of know what you're gonna say, you know, but just you know what I mean?
How do you know? I don't even know what I'm going to say.
I know your feelings on Bruno, but yeah.
No, I'm surprised. Honestly, I thought, maybe I might surprise you, whatever. But David and Damo, some great points. Much of what David said, fully agree with. Agree a lot with what Damien said. Damien said a very key point that I don't think a lot of people consider. The fact that Fernandes is out of the limelight off the pitch gives him a bit of leeway, I think. Whereas, as you said, with Pogba, they'll talk about his hair, his flamboyance, his Instagram, his this and that. So when he does something not up to par on the pitch, then he gets it worse because then they throw all that in his direction. When you say overhyped, it's dependent on regarding whose perception, because I don't really listen, or I'm not really aware of what the public are saying about him. Yeah. So if I was aware that loads of people saying he's the best thing since sliced bread, then no, as you're saying, as has been said, and I can see, he gives the ball away so much. It's almost unbelievable. But as David was saying, the structure at United, he's been given a free role. Yeah. I mean, there's sometimes United games I'll join in 5, 10, 15 minutes in, and I'm looking and I'm like, okay, that's the back four. Then I'm seeing Bruno in a centre forward position or closing the keeper down. And I'm seeing Rashford, Martial on the wing. So I'm like, Bruno's playing centre forward. But then you look and you're like, look, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm like, I'm just working out because of the way he's starting position. And then you realise, no, he's not. He's in midfield. He's got the ultimate freest license I think I've ever seen. Shoot when you want, try a ridiculous pass when you want, run around, close down the keeper, usher your players out wide, but you're supposed to be in the centre of the pitch, big gaping hole. As I think Damien said, he'll get found out. He'll vacate his position. The players will get outnumbered in the middle. In terms of goals, there's no doubt about his goal output. I can't remember the stat. I saw a stat the other day, and I think he's almost, got whatever it's like 50% or 2-to-1 ratio. That's a better way of saying it. So I don't know if every two games he's got one goal or something like that.
I think since he's come to the league, if I'm right, I think no one has scored more goals since he's come to the league. I think the only person who might have scored more might be Salah, if I'm honest.
Okay.
But I think he's definitely top two. Since
do you know what? He's like a contradiction, because you say if it wasn't, he gives the ball away so much, but you give him leeway for the goals. But the goals come because he's got the freedom to do what he wants. So it's like a catch-22. So I mean, he scores quite a few penalties, but then you've still got to be brave enough to take them. Yeah. Brave enough to take them with his style, with the style he takes them at as well.
I've seen a few man miss.
I've seen him miss. I've seen him. I didn't even make the link.
Tubbs having that, Tubbs.
I ain't no penalty taker. I think with Fernandes as well, I've seen him miss a penalty, but I think whatever it was, encroachment or something, it was a retake, and he takes it seriously. You see the celebration, he was annoyed at himself that he missed. So I'll give him credit that he takes the penalties. He's brave enough to take them even in adversity. Yeah. He continues to use that style, which he can get criticised for, but he's got a very high success rate. Does score a lot of goals, which is beneficial from the structure the freedom he has, scores really good goals, a few really good goals. But yeah, I think as been said before by David and Damien, like if you're watching the game, you can see. I mean, there's sometimes he gives the ball away so cheap, like it's set to him and it's his first time trying to scoop it into the box and the keeper catches it. Or
Yeah.
But then the odds few times when he pulls off a blockbuster pass, he assisted Rashford. I think it was against Wolves, and it was the literally last move of the game, like near the halfway line.
Can I just say one thing on that? Yeah. That to me that won a blockbuster pass, and I'm going to tell you why. Yeah. I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, it's because you see Bruno. What Bruno does, yeah, he just plays the ball into space. Yeah. Now, if let's say for instance Berbatov was playing, yeah, that would be a shit ball because Berbatov ain't going to run for it. He knows Rashford is a runner. You know what I mean? So he played the ball into space. Rashford gets onto it, and to be honest with you, it was a lucky finish. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
Bruno to me isn't really a creator. He just plays.
No, I'm not saying he's a phenomenal passer, but I think the benefit, the thing in his favour there is that it's a match-winning pass, and United get 3 points in the game where they were not good.
Right.
And his pass does lead to an end product, which is 3 points, climbing up further up the table. But yeah, I think if you're looking at the game properly, and I think us lot are quite, I don't know, we're quite old school, and we look at the right things, or we don't just look at the numbers or the end product. You look at the game as a whole. I think some people, maybe the more new school people, if they watch the game with the volume off, that's what Klopp says he does with a lot of things. He put the volume off and watch it for what you see. Bruno gives the ball away a hell of a lot. Like when you have, as Damo said, you've got midfielders like Scholes and that, they wouldn't allow that. Yeah. Someone would be like, you've given the ball away twice in a hot minute, like fix up. But he's literally just got the license to play how he wants, shoot when he wants. It's crazy, it's insane.
Ferguson would have carpeted any player for that. Ferguson would have carpeted absolutely every single player for that.
Damo, but before Fergie, the players would have. It would have come from Fergie, but it would have the players be like. Yeah. But I'm not being funny. Us, we play football. Like I've been in training once, like maybe having an off session or off spell, and someone's gone to you giving the ball away twice. I'm thinking, I sort of retaliated with him, like this new person in trials. I'm thinking, who are you? This is my club. But in a way, he's still picking up on it. But Bruno, literally, I'm actually shocked by the amount he gives the ball away, and just and he knows. Just lastly, he knows he's guaranteed to start. He doesn't even need to look at the team sheet. He knows if he's on the bench, it's because he's being rested. Then he comes on like against Liverpool and he saves the day of free kicks. So he literally knows he's got a mentality. He can do anything he wants with no repercussions.
No repercussions. That's exactly what you
said. The freedom is insane.
He could probably slap Ollie and start next game.
And you know what you were saying about hype, though, Tubbs. I just wanted to touch on this. It's not public hype. It's the media hype. I don't know why, but the media can make or break players. You know, and for some reason, I think, like you guys were touching on, Paul, because of all his Instagram and his haircuts and, you know, the fact that he does all this dancing and stuff, they try to detract that away from his football and then start criticising his actual craft when he's actually a master of his craft.
He's 2-footed. He should be playing as a number 10. Like you said, the team should be based around him. He's so out of position. He should be central. He can shoot in the box, out of the box. He can header. He's great controlling the ball. He's good in tight areas. He's skillful. But he hasn't got the freedom.
Just start sticking him on the left, like.
On the right. What about you put him on the right?
Bro, I'm telling you.
As you said, in comparison to Pogba and Bruno's freedom, it's insane. The freedom is insane.
No, listen, I agree. I mean, to be fair, like, as we know, obviously the goals, he's. I mean, to be fair, half of his, 50% of his goals for United have been from the penalty spot or from set pieces, which many people probably don't actually realise. I think it's about 50% of his goals are set pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I said, like, people will always revert back to goals, but it depends how you see the game. And a lot of these football fans that are just fans of the club, or even like young kids coming up, because a lot of these young kids, it's like they just like players with pace and power. Do you know what I mean? And
sorry, Gav, to interrupt actually, and it touches on what Damo said. Yeah, he's gonna get found out. At the moment, he gets away with it because the stuff he does. If United win the game, they win the game. You know, it's like a centre forward. You could be out. Like I think Ronaldo had a game where he touched the ball the least. I think almost less than a keeper. Yeah. but it's 2 touches, 2 goals. You forget.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing Ronaldo to Fernandes, but
Yeah.
you forget all the balls, all the passes he gave away, and all the possession he gave up because.
But the thing is, Tom,
sorry. I just think
go on.
if United lose the game or draw the game, then the microscope will come out and go, this guy's giving the ball away 20 times, 30 times. But whilst they're winning and he's scoring the winning goals, but yeah, they must say he'll probably get found out soon because you cannot be giving the ball away. That any coach would be like, just press him or just be aware because he's vacating his position, he's giving the ball away.
Yeah,
it'll be a downfall for strengthen an opposition basically with the way he plays.
What I was going to say is that you see, football's like an entertainment business, yeah. So you're saying that obviously United will play poor and then he might score. Someone like me, that's not good enough for me because I want to see my team play well and win. I don't want to just see them just fluke a result and then everyone starts getting a hard on because they've got the 3 points. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be seeing that. I like to see football first. I wouldn't even mind if Man United played well, very well, and they got a draw, let's say, or they lost last minute. As long as I'm seeing Man United play well, that's what I care about. And people might say, yeah, but we want the result. Yeah, we all want the result. But if we're being serious, if the team's playing well for the majority of the game, you more or less are going to win.
You're going to get the result, yeah. That's what people don't know.
United not playing well, they're fluking results, and then when they play against the best teams, people are surprised. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but as I said, with Bruno, Bruno, I mean, people look at his numbers, and to me, that just shows you where the game's gone, unfortunately. Do I think Bruno is as good as what they're making out to be? Hell no. But as I say, your points are valid, man. To be honest with you, and
don't forget Ozzy, Gav. He's got his sunbed on.
Yeah, I can see him in the back there, going to sleep, isn't he? Yeah.
And Gav, I know you muted me because you were shook about the penalty thing.
Yeah, man.
You don't want me to expose you.
So we'll move on to Ozzy now. So Oz, Bruno Fernandes. I know you.
All the topics that you brought up, this was the one that got to me the most. Because to me, you lot are actually giving him a little bit of praise. To me, he's whack. He's shit. He don't belong at United. How you, man, are giving him some praise is beyond me. The thing, you touched on it. David just said it as well.
Yeah.
Well, you're scoring penalties. The one that Tubbs brought up about the Wolves game. I see that game. You didn't do nothing, bro. You done a 60-yard ball. Now, that's not an assist. It's not an assist because, one, it was in front onto the right-hand side of Rashford. The man had to take a touch. It was a poor touch as well. Rashford got out of it because of his pace. And then he cuts inside, left-footed shot, lucky goal because it comes off the defender. That's not an assist. If I'm a striker and you're my creative midfielder, I want tap-ins. I want the ball to come into a place where you know I'm running because I'm making that space.
Yeah.
I'm one-on-one with a goalkeeper. You can't give me an assist where you're going to play a 60-yard ball, I've got to take on the defender, and I've got to get a lucky ricochet. That's not an assist to me. Now, I've been watching Bruno quite a lot. Against Man City, United lost 2-0. This is all in the last 4 to 6 weeks. Played City and Liverpool. I'll start off with City first. Lost 2-0, you went missing. All right, City, much better team. I say much, much better team, got better squad, first team, uncompared. You went missing. But why did you go missing against Liverpool? They don't even have a defence. They got no defence.
Yeah.
It's a massive mishmash. You got Henderson, I know you don't rate him, and you got Fabinho at the back. But you should be ripping them apart if you're this creative midfielder.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what he's done to Oli. Like, I'd rather see Van der Beek play. I'd like to see him play, see what he can do. Because we talk about Pogba. Pogba is on a different level to these guys. He's on a complete different level. I don't care if you're gonna dab. I don't care if you're gonna have yellow hair one day, green hair one day.
Yeah.
Bruno cannot step into Pogba's shoes. No way. Now, he can do it against these lesser teams because he can get away with it. Because then you've got other man behind you. Because obviously football is a team game again. Yeah. If you're playing, I don't know, a Burnley, decent team. They've been in the Premiership for how many years? Don't have the same quality. They don't have the same funds to bring in the same quality of players that Man United can. So you can do your outrageous passes. You can do these stupid little flicks and everything that he tries to do, and always try and take on 2-3 players before you play outrageous ball. But you've got another team. You've got another 10 players that are just backing you. Every time you fuck up, you got 10 players backing you.
Yeah.
Can Bruno get into Madrid? No way. Can he get into Barca? No way. To all the top teams, PSG, Juve, Bayern Munich, you're not getting into these teams. You might make the bench if you're lucky, but I don't even see you making the bench. Then,
yeah, I reckon he comes on the bench then he comes on for the last 5 minutes, bro. Trust me, that's all. Sorry, Ozzy.
We have to add on. Then to me, I know the question was Bruno, but you got to put on Pogba. All them teams there, he gets into the team. He's not on the bench. He's a starting player.
Comfortably gets in. Yeah.
Starting player.
Yeah.
So this whole Bruno hype is all bullshit.
Yeah.
Ozzy, you're spot on there. What you're saying about Pogba there is every major European superpower club knows Pogba. They know,
and they want him as well.
Side. Exactly.
They want him.
They don't give it out in the media because they know when he's unsettled, they don't even need to do nothing to take him now.
Bro, listen,
I'm going to pick him, and then that's it. It's game over.
Bro, listen, I'll put you simply like this, yeah? The only people that disrespect Paul Pogba is this country, which tells you everything. He's respected everywhere but this country. And there's a reason for that, which I'll go on to once Oz finishes.
It's a culture. The reason why he gets disrespected is, I think, I'm not too sure. I think Tubbs might have, or one of you guys said it, which was he comes in, he plays his football, he does what he's been told to do. He's got that free license, free reign, and then he just goes about his business. Goes home, goes to the missus. Here you go, babe. Here's another 250 grand a week, even though I played shit. And that's it. Whereas Pogba, he's outgoing. He likes the attention. He likes the limelight. And there's nothing wrong with it, because if you can produce, well, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. As long as you're not doing anything to harm your career, go. You want to go strip club? Go strip club, bro. You want to go in that club? Go in that club. You want to go take a week holiday because there's no football? Go do what you want. But the media over here can't handle that. They want someone prim and proper. See how David Beckham. They want a David Beckham. It's structured, and I know it's a little bit different. But you got your boy like Anthony Joshua, he made out to be a saint, such a perfect little boy. Nah. Yeah. I want the ethnicity, the essence of the player. I want Paul Pogba to be Paul Pogba. Otherwise, he wouldn't even be the player that he is on the pitch if they stripped him away.
Yeah, but you know that AJ thing you're saying there, Rozzy.
Wait. Let's just stick on to the Bruno quickly.
Oh yeah, football thing. Yeah, football.
We can have that discussion after. But yeah, no, Oz, you're 100% right. Like Bruno, for me, as I say, I'm gonna come on to it in a minute. But yeah, your views on Bruno, that he's overhyped. I mean, I can't disagree with that because, as I say, I've been saying this for a while. I mean, there's nothing. As I say, mentioned with Tubbs is what Tubbs said. I mean, yeah, he has got the goals, but to me, United ain't won nothing. So
all right, put me in United, and I'll take the penalties, and we'll see if I get the same amount of goals. Yeah, you can. You have to have the nerves. You have to have the nerves. Simple as that. To go and take it. but like we've been saying,
I'm not sure if you got that. I'm not sure if you got the
listen,
composure though. To be honest, you know what I mean?
listen,
I'm not sure if certain other men have either.
It's like a Coke machine with legs taking penalties.
Yeah, but no, I mean, to be fair, yeah, I can't disagree with what you're saying, man, because yeah, Bruno's getting the hype. But I think people that truly understand football and watch football regularly, you won't be overhyping him. You just say, yeah, he gets goals and that's it, really. Do you know what I mean? And people will say he's a leader and stuff like this.
Leading what?
Well, no, they call him a leader. But I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why though. Yeah. Now, for me, obviously, you boys have heard me talk about Bruno for ages now. Yeah. For me, Bruno is very overhyped, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. Now,
can I just make a quick comment though, Gav? You know, because people are saying about you know, being a leader, but you know, I was around my grandparents a lot, and there was a lot of proverbs that they said. And there's one that sticks out for me, and this sort of reminds me of Bruno a little bit, is in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So do you deep that?
Yeah, I do. So basically what you're trying to say is that he's amongst no leaders, basically. He's amongst no one, yeah.
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 So, you know, if it's, you know, if he's around blind people and he's got one eye, he's the king, innit?
Yeah.
That's it.
I get that. And that makes a good point, actually, of what I'm going to go on to, yeah? So with Bruno Fernandes, now, as I mentioned, I think 50% of his goals have come from set pieces, yeah? Now, the funny thing with Bruno Fernandes, yeah, is that Bruno Fernandes, they play, and this just sums up, it's not about Ollie, yeah, but this just sums up the manager, yeah? Having watched Bruno playing for Sporting Lisbon, I knew what kind of player United were getting, yeah? Now, United needed another midfield player to come in because everything was on Pogba. He had players like Fellaini around him, Andreas Pereira, who were just absolute shit, really, yeah? So they needed another midfielder, and having watched Bruno, I thought, do you know what? He's got goals in him. He will bring something to the team to help Pogba. But what I didn't know is the way the manager, where he was going to play him, and to the detriment of the team. And this is what it is with Bruno, yeah? So Bruno plays in the number 10 position, who and he's not even a number 10, by the way, yeah? When you look at number 10s, the number 10s were arguably, if you go through the years, were arguably, we call them the magic man. Yeah, they were the guys that were arguably your best player or your most talented individual to make something happen, yeah? We go through Ronaldinho, Pablo Aimar, Juan Roman Riquelme, Bergkamp, Del Piero, to name but a few, yeah? And Bruno's actually a number 8. So when I'm saying number 8, he's like a box-to-box midfielder, yeah? So if United played a formation of a defensive midfielder and 2 attacking central midfielders, Bruno will play in the central ones there, yeah? But Ollie has told Bruno to do exactly what he done at Sporting. He's actually been quoted as in saying that, yeah? Now, you got a player coming from Portugal, which is an inferior league to the Premiership, yeah? So the fact that you're telling a player coming from there to do what you've done at Sporting just shows where you really are as a manager. And bearing in mind, this manager's been a manager for 12 years, longer than Pep. And you can see the levels in him and Pep now, yeah? So Bruno plays as a 10, yeah? Now, your number 10s were players that kept the ball, wouldn't just force the ball all the time. They'll wait for an opening, yeah? Bruno does not do that. So what happens is that the fact that he pops up with goals, because if you take off Bruno's assists, Bruno's penalties, his numbers ain't looking all that when you actually think about it, yeah? But obviously everyone just looks at it and thinks, yeah, Bruno's got another goal, so the hype gets worse, yeah? Now, the biggest problem in football are the media and these dead pundits, i.e. Jermaine Genius, Alan Shearer, Dion Dublin, Tim Sherwood, Graham Souness, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes. I've named you 8 already, yeah? They're all dead pundits, yeah? They're all guys that are past their sell-by date in terms of actually understanding football. The only person I respect in punditry that knows what they're talking about consistently is Robin Van Persie. And the reason for that is Van Persie is from our era of what we're seeing, yeah? These Graham Souness and that, all they know about is blood, sweat and tears, running into man and just working hard, yeah? But unfortunately, that era's passed and they need to get with the times, yeah? And that's the honest truth. Now, the reason Bruno Fernandes is talked above someone like Pogba, and there's a reason for this now, yeah? And just hear me out now, yeah? I've mentioned this to Tubbs already, yeah? Now, if you look at Man United's team now, yeah? If you was to say who are the 3 best players in Man United's team, yeah? It would outweigh the black players and the white players. So you're gonna say Pogba, Martial, Rashford in there, and then the only one that gets in there is Bruno Fernandes in there, right? Yeah. So the reason I'm saying this is because if you look at Man United's team from before, Man United have never had a team which has been the majority of their best players being black. Yeah. Because even when they had York and Cole, they still had Beckham, Giggs, Scholes, Keane, Solskjaer, Sheringham. Yeah. And obviously, if you go even further back, was there any black guys there playing? I think you had Viv Anderson.
Wait. Just one thing.
Go on.
One other black player that did play well, Paul Parker. Paul Parker was a good player for Man United.
Yeah, but what I mean, Dame, yeah? Sorry, you had Louis Saha as well, and obviously Evra. But the point I'm making is that the majority of their best players were not black. That makes sense. If you look at United now, if I pick 3 players, 2 of them are definitely black, 100%. Whether you have Martial, Pogba, or Rashford, there's going to be 2 outweighing 1, in my point now, yeah? So what's happened now, yeah? That plays a big part on a lot of these local Manchester fans, because obviously someone like a Rashford, for instance, yeah, Rashford gets given leeway because he's from Manchester. So they look at him as like one of their own, yeah? Now, Bruno Fernandes has come in, and although Bruno Fernandes is not English, he's got white skin, yeah? So what they do, yeah? It's going to be, Rob, listen, I'm telling you now, man, this is what they're doing now, yeah? What they do is that they use Bruno as the stick to beat Pogba with, because anything Bruno does, they'll just say, oh yeah, Pogba should be doing this. That's what they do, yeah? But everyone can see Pogba's quality. Like, I don't need stats. I don't need anything else to tell me that Bruno Fernandes as a footballer is not on Pogba's level. He's nowhere near it, yeah? But his stats are hiding his deficiencies, yeah? Now, if you look at the way Tuz mentioned it earlier, yeah? He gives the ball away a hell of a lot, yeah? Now, the problem is that he gives the ball away a hell of a lot and he goes wherever he wants, yeah? When you're playing against the better teams in the league or Champions League, yeah, United will get found out, as what's happened against Red Bull Leipzig, and when they played PSG on the second time, they're out of the Champions League. Because that gung-ho approach will only work against your Sheffield Uniteds, your West Broms of this world, not against the top teams, yeah? Now, if you check Bruno's record against the top 6 teams, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, yeah? He's got 1 goal involvement, and that was from a penalty, yeah? So that's my point. So the hype they give him is only to beat Pogba with, but the hype isn't justified against the best teams. If Bruno was doing his thing against the top 6 teams, there's no argument. Even though the way he plays football, I don't really like, but there's no argument because he's doing it against the best in the league, yeah? But the fact that he's got his numbers show that he's not doing it against the top 6 teams tells you all you need to know, is that basically he's a flat track bully. He can only do it against the lower league, or the lower teams in the league. But when it comes up against the best, which is what I knew anyway, he ain't going to shine because his gung-ho approach and the way the team is set up as well, the team is set up in a way to get the best out of Bruno and Rashford. And it's to the detriment of someone like Martial, Pogba, and Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek come from Ajax, yeah, the school of Ajax, yeah. He just passing movement is in his genes, yeah. You mean to tell me this guy can't get a game in this shit team, but Dan James can? Do you know what I mean? And that's a failing on the manager, yeah. So the manager sees the game in a certain way, yeah, and that will be his downfall because he likes to play the likes of McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Maguire, Dan James. Have I said McTominay already? He likes to play, and a Fred as well, yeah? All these guys are just...
Brandon Williams, you missed.
Brandon Williams, yeah? These guys are high energy players, yeah? Now, one of you mentioned earlier, I think it was you, Dave, mentioned earlier that, that Pep wouldn't take Bruno Fernandes. 100% Pep will never go nowhere near him because his turnover of possession is an absolute joke, yeah? And the fact that like a lot of people kind of ignore this, yeah, is a joke in itself. And as I say,
sorry, Gav, was Fernandes? I know you said Solskjaer told Fernandes to play the same way he did at Sporting. Was he what you're seeing now? Is this literally the same way he was playing?
Subs, the way Bruno plays now, if anything, yeah, he's doing it even worse now, yeah. Because what's happened, yeah, is that Solskjaer said just do what you've done at Sporting, yeah. Now, as you mentioned, yeah, Bruno was at times higher than Martial in the games. Bruno's average position, in actual fact, yeah, when I checked something, his average position is higher than Martial, who's playing as a striker. So no one can come and tell me that Bruno's a midfielder. He's not. He's a second striker. So there's no surprising why he's got strikers' numbers because he's not playing as a midfielder. But when they play against the better teams, he can't play like that because United will come unstuck, which is why they've got no good results against the top 6 teams because he's just playing wherever he wants to play, and his goals are hiding his deficiencies basically.
It's not just playing where he wants to play; it's playing where he wants to play and being allowed to with no repercussions.
Yeah.
Like I said, the way he gives away is criminal. Like sometimes I watch him, I think these criminals will give the ball away that much. Yeah, but no repercussions, zero repercussions.
In your opinion, yeah, who's that a failing on? Would you say? Because for me, it's obvious who the failing's on.
Yeah, I think that failing's definitely on the manager, and I think a lot of people are touching on that. You know, like we've got to also look at credentials here as well. It's nothing to take away from Ollie, but you know, come on, like I know Pep stepped into a Barcelona team who were fantastic. He stepped into a Bayern team that were fantastic, but the guy is a genius. You know, he's not stepped into that position for no reason. But this Ollie guy, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, like you mentioned, you know, yes, he scored that Champions League goal, but let's look at his credentials, perhaps as a manager and what he's achieved to, you know, give him the accolades to actually become a Man United manager. Where was he? Somewhere in Norway. Cardiff got them relegated. Like, please, like, do me a favour. Like, that's not credentials to then go and manage Manchester United.
Yeah.
100%.
100%, man. I mean, all you need to know as well with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, yeah, is that Mulder, yeah, even a lot of the Mulder fans don't even like him. Mulder fans don't even want him back. But yet, this club thinks it's a good idea to keep him in charge. Do you know what I mean? The thing in Man United now, yeah?
Sorry, Gav. Just to go on that point you said, I just thought of something, right? Based on what you said. Solskjaer's managerial career at United is paralleled by Bruno's footballing career at United.
Yeah.
So Solskjaer has actually been lucky
that Bruno's coming.
No, not because Bruno. Yeah, in a way that, but Solskjaer may be on the verge of Ollie out back in the past. He does well against PSG away twice. He pulls out results where he beat Man City, even though they didn't play well. Fernandes, all the downfalls, he's got the goals. I think David said a point earlier. It's plaster over the cracks.
Over the wound, yeah.
So I think that's what it's like with Solskjaer's managerial and Bruno's play. There's so many deficiencies and flaws, but they're getting results that's distracting or taking an eye away from that. Do you know what I mean? Some of Solskjaer's results, like his first 11 games to United, was insane. Gav, you probably wanted him to stay back then, like not stay, but stay longer or extend. But
I mean, anyone coming in after Mourinho is going to be a good thing because that guy was just stifling players. I'll tell you what it is for me. Yeah, when I knew this manager was poor, yeah, it wasn't even the results. Yeah, it's when he started doing certain things with his team selection. Yeah, because as I say, the kind of players that he wanted to play just told me the way that he sees the game, and the problem is, it's not sustainable with these players because I don't care. Like the likes of the McTominays and the Dan Jameses. If Man United are being serious, Dan James ain't even at the club. Yeah, Scott McTominay's on loan. Brandon Williams is on loan or not even at the club. There's many players. Harry Maguire. I mean, he's sanctioned.
It's easier doing it the other way around, Gav.
What?
It's easier doing it the other way around. Which ones would stay? Because for me, 99% of them, current form, De Gea's not even playing well. Maguire, you compare, I think Stuart said, compare some of the players now to the previous United teams.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was a stage where United had Tevez, Berbatov, Ronaldo, Rooney, Anderson, Scholes, Giggs, Park, Hargreaves, Carrick, Neville, further that Vidic. It's insane. Evra, Gary Neville. Bro, some of these players, Martial wouldn't get in there. I'm a big Martial fan. Martial wouldn't get ahead of them, that front four. Nah. Pogba would get in that midfield. That's how I say put it that way around. Yeah. So I'll say Pogba, Martial, De Gea.
Pogba left because they didn't play him.
I mean, comparing the best players in the United team now to the previous generations of especially that era of Rooney and them. De Gea not on current form, but he can't. De Gea had been superhuman for multiple seasons. He'll get the nod. Pogba, yes. Martial wouldn't get ahead in the front four of that era. That's it. For me, that is it. There's no one else in the United team's even getting on the bench in the past teams.
It is just Pogba, and he would have out of that team, out of that Champions League team, 2008. He would have ousted Michael Carrick and probably Hargreaves.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? Everyone would have been like, yeah, that's fair play.
Yeah.
But even you think about someone like Michael Carrick, yeah? He came up from us and we weren't giving him... He was okay at West Ham. He weren't great. Tottenham developed him as a player by far. And then obviously Man United just took him and took him up to like, hang on, you're going to win silverware of us now. You know, and he was consistent. And then he got a testimonial at Man United as well, didn't he?
No, but that's what you've got to look at Man United as well, is like Ferguson used to take players, certain players, and make them into, machines that would then win the league. Like I remember him going and getting people like Valencia and Ashley Young, these boys, when they stepped on that pitch, they were performing and playing with superstars, like Scholes and stuff. When I look at this manager, like the football don't excite me. Like Gav was saying, you want to watch the game and be excited and think, my team playing well, see that they're keeping the ball, that they're dominating games. I have more fun watching Brighton. My missus will tell you, Man United are on. I'm like, I don't want the stress.
Brighton's manager's sick.
I don't want the stress. Yeah. That Graham Potter, he knows football. Do you know what I'm saying? He's got the right philosophy there. Like, if we can keep the ball and play football, we're going to win the majority of games. Again, they're just unfortunate that they don't have the backing to get the talent that he would perhaps need to progress a little bit more. But, like we're touching on, I think it is really all comes down to the manager and his philosophy and how he sees football. With that team, it's a makeshift team that's sort of been just plastered together. Like you guys alluded to, the great Man United teams of old, these lot wouldn't get near it. You've got two players probably in De Gea, who was superhuman, and Paul Pogba, who would get in the team. Probably, I think we're being a bit harsh. I think Greenwood would get in just based on pure talent. He's one of the best finishers we're seeing, but his career is going to be stifled by playing for this guy, Solskjaer.
I 100% agree with that. I think he should. I'm a United fan, but I think he should leave because for what he is, he's not going to reach the potential at United.
The thing with Greenwood, is that Greenwood, at this moment in time, he's not a better striker than Martial or Cavani. Yeah. So he's got to kind of learn his trade. But the problem is that football moves on. You know what I mean? So it's a case of he's 19. He's going to be 20. He's going to be 20. Yeah. Now football goes just like that. Do you know what I mean? So he's got to decide for himself. Does he want to go and further his career? Because I believe with Solskjaer in charge, I don't believe Greenwood, because Greenwood's overall game in terms of being a striker isn't really that great. It's just that we know him as a good finisher. But his overall game will come with experience. And Man United are in a position now where they can't really afford that, which is why they're talking about Haaland, because Haaland is a machine, he's a beast at the age of 19. And if he was to come in, which I don't think he will, what's that going to say for Greenwood? Even if Jadon Sancho was to come in, what's that going to say for Greenwood? Do you know what I mean? So
if I was Greenwood now, as a young man like he is, and undoubtedly that talent is there, I'd be playing for the 1 year loan away. Yeah. And I'd be saying, look, send me to Arsenal, send me to Tottenham. I know you don't want to send me to the rivals, but they're not our rivals at the moment. Yeah. And I'd be going in and I'd be trying to spray goals in for clubs like that and going, bloody hell, we've just sent this guy to our two biggest rivals. Yeah. He's starting, he's spraying in the goals. Yeah. And doing what Lukaku did at Everton. Yeah. Chelsea let him go and he was smashing at Everton, and then they were like, oh, right, we need to bring this geezer back. Do you know what?
Though, yeah? I'll tell you one thing, yeah? I'll tell you one thing. You see Greenwood, yeah? Where Greenwood plays now, he plays out from the right as an inverted attacker to cut in with his left foot, hit a shot, yeah? Greenwood can play there under a better coach. He's not being coached to play there. Do you know what I mean? This Man United team, they're playing off the cuff. It's like, it just depends on who's going to show up on the day. There's no pattern.
They're not freestyling, bro. Trust me.
Freestyling. There's no patterns of play. There's nothing. Do you know what I mean? And when they play against, I mean, I'll give you a prime example, yeah? Look at Man City, yeah? There's no surprise Sterling's always tapping the ball in every week, because the patterns of play they do, De Bruyne gets it across the goal, Sterling taps it in. That happens all the time because it's muscle memory. It's just, they just know what they're going to do every single game. With Man United, I don't know if Pogba's going to hit a screamer. I don't know if Bruno's going to pop up with a goal. You just don't know. Do you know what I mean?
It's like that Gunda one as well. That's tap-ins. Tap. But the thing is, I think that's being exposed even by Lingard leaving. Like, look, he's gone to West Ham. Look at what he's doing, bro.
There you go.
West Ham. If I was Greenwood, like Damo was saying, as a young boy, I probably wouldn't try to go to Man United's rivals, because I don't think Man United would let him stay in the league, because that would expose them and make them look really silly, similar to what Lingard is doing now. Yeah. If I was them, or if I was him, I would say, look, you want Haaland? All right, let me go on loan to Dortmund, because that would be where he then excels. Yeah. And then if I was him, I would say, you know what? I've been on loan to Dortmund. I don't really fancy it with you guys no more. Yeah. Here's my transfer request. You know, but as soon as he goes to somewhere like Dortmund, he's going to be doing bits. By the time he's doing all that stuff out there, Man United are going to want him back. But the thing is, that's the problem. You go to Man United now, and Man United has become the club where people are going there just to get a check. You know, they're paying players 200 and something bags a week. Yeah. Like players that ain't even nowhere near the caliber, just because they don't want someone else to get him, or they're thinking, we've got to pay him this amount because he's not going to want to come here otherwise. And I don't think, like Man United now, if you're a top player, why would you go to Man United? No, just ask yourself that.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't want to go Man United now, especially as an English player, because you'd be like, well, day in, day out, it used to be Man United with Champions League. That was it.
Yeah.
It was always they're going to win the league. They're going to have a good FA Cup run. They might do the double or might do the treble like Arsenal. Sorry, do the double like Arsenal used to do as well. Premier League and the FA Cup all the time. But Man United that is Europe. Man United is Europe. Liverpool weren't guaranteeing you Europe. Arsenal were flitting in and out. That is why they're the biggest club. Man United are still the biggest club. As much as, for me as a football fan, it is sad to see what's going on there. I want to see the big European nights. I want to watch it when Man United thump Roma 8-0. Do you know what I mean? Remember that game?
Daniel De Rossi scored the equaliser scored the goal for
7-1, I think, if I remember
7-1. Sorry,
yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like even me as a West Ham fan, like I still know the big European nights. I remember Roy Keane in the semi-final versus Juventus for the Champions. You know, to get through to playing against Bayern, and I've been following Man United my whole life as a football fan. You know, and I still want to see them do well. As to me, they are the pinnacle of the footballing world, and obviously the biggest selling point for the Premier League. But at the moment, for me to be looking at them and being like, right, I've got Harry Maguire at centre back, I'm like, bloody hell, man.
Joking, bro. Joking.
You know, that's just replacing Chris Smalling with an even more expensive problem.
Whoever sanctioned that 80 million deal should be sacked on the spot.
I think whoever.
Do you know?
Go on.
Do you know what the banter was? Yeah. Look at Leicester. They got Evans, who was at us, is still doing bits. They went and signed this Bafana as well.
Hey, listen, he's
a bad boy.
Bafana.
And they sold us Maguire, knowing they had this Turkish brother, Suchek, or I don't know what's his name. Soyuncu.
Listen.
All three of their centre backs now are better than Man United.
Man United just stay getting ripped off. That's all it is. They're getting ripped off every year.
No, but that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now. All of the agents, like, their players won't go there unless they're just being paid silly money. Because why else would you go to Man United?
Yeah, it's just dollar. It's just for the money.
You ain't going there unless you're getting paid silly peas.
Boys, man, listen, it's been 2 hours strong, man. As I said, say for you boys for coming on, man. It's been a great show.
It's been good.
As I say, man, I want to keep this regular every week, every Thursday. If you boys can commit to it.
It depends on the edit, boy. I hope I get a good edit. Make me look good, yeah?
the filters have got to be strong.
Don't worry about that, man. I'll try and get someone in for the job for that. You know what I mean? I can't promise anything. But no, man, I say safe for coming on, everyone, man. It's been good, man. Some good discussions on. As I said, want to try and keep it every week, every Thursday, different topics to discuss. So safe for coming on,
Man United next week, not Man United next week.
Nah. Get the content out there, Gav. What you want for the next run?
No worries.
Yeah. And then we'll all get together. But no, it was good. Really good.
Wicked,
it's good to hear people's opinions.
It was good. Thanks for having us, Gav.
Don't be silly, man. Been good.
Sweet, Gav. All right, we'll catch you later. Yeah.
All right. See you later, boys.